Gentlemen, welcome to the channel. A tired man is a happy man. What I mean by that, a tired man seems to sleep better at night, have more peace, and have a greater sense of fulfillment than a man who has not gone out there and expended energy and done work, and therefore lets his mind noodle on things that are self-destructive and not worth wasting any of your time on, right? You've probably experienced that. And so the reason I share that with you today is because as men, we are builders. Think about what we do as men. We're builders. We build communities, we build families, we build our bodies, we build businesses, and we want to build a legacy. We are wired to build. We are wired to achieve. We are wired to do things. And so because of that, you're constantly noodling if you are not doing things to move and propel your life forward. So why is this important to you? Well, as men, what I found is that when we don't have a specific mission to be on in life, we tend to want to start noodling on things in the media. Maybe it's the Iran and Israel conflict. Maybe it's Donald Trump. Maybe it's what's happening with the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. Maybe it's what's happening with Diddy and the whole Elon Musk thing. It could be a million things, but there's always things for you to noodle on if you don't have your own personal life's mission, because the man's brain will always find a mission to go on. And that becomes self-destructive, because if that thing that you are noodling on, you are chasing down, you're trying to solve, is not necessarily within your control. It's within the external locus of control. In other words, you can't directly impact the Diddy trial, or what Elon does, or what Trump does, or what the conflict in Iran and Israel do. Why are you wasting any more time on it, right? That makes sense. And so what a man needs is a mission. And when we have a mission, we tend to focus on that, and we go to sleep tired, we wake up happy and fulfilled. Because a man without a mission is living in misery. And this is what I've learned. So what is the big lesson here for you? I think one of the greatest things you can do are things that are focused in your zone of control, right? So there's that external locus of control, things that I can't control, that irritate me, that frustrate me, that I want to fix about the country, about the world, about the economy, about the community. And then there's things that are within my control, my body, my health, my family, my business, my legacy. Those are the things I'm going to focus on, because if we don't, what tends to happen is we begin to spiral down this drain of worry, of frustration. And that leaves men feeling anxious and depressed. And if you've ever found yourself going through a long stretch of time where you're feeling anxious and depressed, worried and frustrated, and you're like, man, I don't really understand why I'm in this funk in life right now, it's probably because you don't have a worthy mission. And remember what I said, a man without a mission is living in misery, right? As men, we are like dogs. We have to be tired at the end of the day and have a sense of accomplishment to be able to want to go out there the next day and conquer and dominate and build legacy and build our family's future. And so if you're not going to bed tired, you're probably doing what? You're screen sucking on social media. You're watching television as distractions, hoping that you can fatigue and get tired so that you can ultimately go to bed. But then you go to bed feeling guilty, feeling like you haven't done anything worthy because there was no mission that you were chasing. So what is the mission? For us men, the things that are within our internal locus of control is your health, your fitness, and your nutrition. Start working out and eating right. Find a nutrition program and a training program that's consistent, that you can do every day on a consistent basis, right? And then get your money right. Figure out what is it that I need to do financially to get my money right for me and my family. Right? And then faith. What level of faith? In a higher power, faith in yourself, faith in the universe, faith in God. What faith can you consistently count on that can help you through when you need hope and light? Because there are phases and seasons of life where we need hope and light to guide us through when maybe we're not in the best frame of mind, right? These are all things that are within your control. And when you start focusing on that, what about the influence that you have on your kids? You've got kids probably, right? And if you do, what is the influence that you can leave on them? That is directly in your locus of control. How can you make them better humans? How can you make them people that are going to be an asset to humanity instead of a liability, right? These are the things that a man needs to make part of his mission. And a man who has a mission is living a wonderful life of fulfillment and purpose. And I share this with you because there was a time in my life where I felt like I had no mission, no purpose, and I struggled and I suffered the most. I was suffering in silence, white knuckling through life, anxious and depressed and trying to figure out what my path should be. And then I realized all the things that I'm worried about externally are out of my control anyway. So why bother worrying about those when I can think about the things that are within my internal control, my health, my nutrition, my workouts, my money, my family, the legacy that I'm building. And all of a sudden, I went to bed tired because I was locked onto my life's mission. So remember that lesson that I told you. A man without a mission is a man living a life of misery. I hope that this message lands well with you. Thank you so much for listening to this short message. If you like this information I'm sharing with you, do me a favor and subscribe, like, and share so we can help more men elevate in life. Peace.